Hey guys, today I will be talking about AAC, what it is, and my experiences using it, as well as giving advice to new users and sharing general etiquette tips for non-AAC users. I'm going to do a quick auditory description of what me and my background look like, and then the video will actually begin. I am a light-skinned, mid-sized person with a brown grown-up buzz cut. I am wearing light blue jeans and a striped shirt with gray and navy blue. I am sitting on my bed against the wall, which is covered in posters, CDs, and pictures of me and my friends. The video angle and zoom changes slightly throughout the video, but the main visuals stay the same. There are no applicable content warnings for this video, so it's safe for everyone to watch. And now onto the video.
AAC stands for Augmentative and Alternative Communication. It's essentially an umbrella term that includes any way of communicating that doesn't fully involve talking. This excludes sign language, as it's a formal language with its own grammar and culture. AAC is for everyone who benefits from it, but it is most commonly used by people with limited or non-understandable speech. However, AAC can be used for any reason, so if you think it could help you in any way, use it.
That being said, what kinds of AAC are there? Well, the four main categories you can put AAC into include no-tech, low-tech, mid-tech, and high-tech. Some types of AAC can also be sorted into text-based or symbol-based, depending on what the main form of communication is through. No-tech AAC is a form of communication using no other materials other than your body. This includes pointing, blinking, looking up or down, turning head left or right, nodding or shaking head, and so much more. Body movements can represent different words or letters. For instance, a very simple communication system could look like having the person turn their head with right meaning yes and left meaning no. Low-tech AAC is AAC that uses non-electronic equipment to communicate. This includes letterboards, communication cards, pod books, pet cards, pen and paper, and printed communication boards, and more. Mid-tech AAC tools are generally battery-operated electronic devices with simpler functions than high-tech AAC. Examples of mid-tech devices include a single button programmed to speak a simple message when pressed, or a device like a GoTalk with a limited numbers of pre-programmed messages. High-tech AAC tools are customizable electronic devices with advanced processors and wider vocabulary. This includes iPads or tablets downloaded with symbol-based AAC apps, an iPhone with the text-to-speech feature enabled, dedicated devices like a Tobii Dynavox, or an eye tracking system connected to a computer with Proloquo for text, and so much more. Now that we know what AAC is, I'm going to be sharing my experience with it.
I have level 2 autism, which means I struggle a lot with communication. Obviously, I can speak, but often, especially when I'm stressed, my speech becomes muddled, mixed up, and non-understandable. When I don't have a script to read off of like I do for videos, I often end up saying words or sentences that don't match what I wanted to say. I also experience verbal shutdowns, which are periods of time where I'm unable to speak at all. Using verbal speech is exhausting for me. It takes a lot of effort for me to talk in a way where other people know what I mean.
My first introduction to AAC was through my mom, an occupational therapist, as a young child. I was instructed to draw or write how I felt or what I was upset about when I couldn't say it out loud. This was a form of low-tech AAC.
As I got older, my speech issues worsened due to autistic burnout and mental health struggles. I began relying on AAC to communicate more often than I did in the past. While a pen and paper are great tools for communicating, I found that I often couldn't get the words out without symbols or pictures. I started doing more research and began implementing some of the tools I'd seen online into my everyday life.
Nowadays, I use a wide variety of AAC tools depending on what I'm needing. I have two AAC setups on my iPad. One here is on Seedboard, and the other is on WeaveChat. I also have a text-to-speech app called TD Talk downloaded.
These are my go-to AAC tools that I use most often. I tend to gravitate more towards the symbol-based apps that I showed you first when I'm stressed and can't handle too much text, and I go to the text-based apps when I need to use a wider vocabulary.
I also use a fair amount of low-tech AAC. These are some of my communication cards. I find these are really good tools for communicating basic needs on the go. I also have a laminated communication card, which I use most often during or after meltdowns. Another tool I use is this drawing tablet. It's easy to use and erases with the click of a button.
AAC has helped me so much, and it's a tool I wish more people knew was an option. It helps me communicate when my voice doesn't do what I want. It helps me say things in a way that helps me be understood and get my needs met.
If you're a new AAC user, the biggest piece of advice I can give you is to be patient with yourself and keep trying. The first time you use AAC, you're going to be slow. You're going to get things wrong, and you might not even be using the right AAC module for your needs. Keep trying. Advocate for different tools if the one you're using doesn't feel right. AAC isn't always easy to use. Do your best and don't give up. You deserve to communicate.
If you're a non-AAC user watching this video, here's what I want you to know. 1. Be patient. It takes us a lot more time and effort to communicate and build words and sentences than it does for people who use mouth words. Number 2, don't guess what we're trying to say unless we tell you otherwise. It can be distracting and disorienting to try to build a sentence when someone is actively guessing what we're going to say. Give us time and wait for us to finish communicating before guessing or asking questions. 3. Treat us like regular people. By that I mean don't baby us or act like we can't understand you. Presume competence and understanding, even if it's hard for us to express that we know what's going on. And lastly, understand that not all AAC users are completely not speaking. Some of us can still speak a little, others can speak a lot, but only in certain situations. There's many reasons to use AAC, so don't be surprised if we talk one day, but use AAC the next.
We've made it to the end of the video. If you've watched this far, I just want to thank you for taking the time to listen to me and my experiences. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer. Thanks again, and goodbye.